I'm Dr. Jen, and you are in the den with Dr. Jen. This is a place for sex talk, social commentary, and sexuality outside the box. And Merry Christmas!
Yeah!
In costume, and we have a very appropriate topic today for the Den Chat: happiness and positivity, which is perfect for this time of year. And today in the Den, we have Eric Karpo Karpinski, who is a life coach and happiness coach. Yeah. I know you want to clap. Often get to hear that, a happiness coach. Coach Karpo has an extensive background actually in business and biotech, but for the past 5 years has been studying happiness and positivity to bring the best of scientific research, ancient wisdom, and lessons from popular culture into his workshops and coaching. And today we get to discuss how all of this can help improve your relationships and sex life. Welcome. Okay, so why happiness and why positivity? Why are you studying these things?
Well, about 15 years ago, some of the top neuroscientists and psychologists in the world focused not on what needs to be fixed with people, but like anxiety, depression, but how to take a regular life and just live a fabulous life, how to live the good life. And so I want to bring that, because I've been reading about it, I want to bring that to people. And so through the workshops, there's wonderful tools about how to practically increase your positivity.
So it's a real shift from sort of a needs-based perspective to a strengths-based perspective.
Exactly, exactly.
Awesome.
It's like, how do we go from just a regular life to a great life, a thriving life?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is this specifically connected to making our relationships better?
Well, Gottman, who's a great researcher out of Seattle, he talks about the healthy relationships have a 5-to-1 positive to negative ratio. So like for every argument or fight that happens in a relationship, you need 5 positives, some compliments or some connection time in order for relationships to really thrive.
Okay, and so below that, they're just kind of getting by?
Yeah, I mean, it's below that, it's you want to get to that 5-to-1 ratio or higher.
Okay. So what about aspects, because I know you've mentioned before there's aspects about being more open-minded, open-hearted. How's that connected here?
Yeah, well, I mean, when people are living in a positive emotional place, when people are happy, it opens your mind. You can see a lot more opportunities and a lot more ideas. So it creates situations where instead of a win-lose scenario where like, I want this and you have to do this for me, you can say, well, what about this third way? And this will get that for you and this for me. Like, it just opens you up.
So the more positive we are, then literally the more creative we are to
Absolutely.
see solutions.
More creative, and you actually see more things in your horizon.
Like it expands our views of things. That's
like literally as well as figuratively.
Okay, what about humor?
Well, if you can, being more positive, you're just more likely to throw out a joke. You're more likely to just be comfortable where you are and then have fun. And support each other that way.
I was reading that recently in an article about this, and it was saying that the more couples that can actually banter with each other and kind of poke fun at each other in a really gentle but nice way, that they actually tend to be healthier, happier.
Absolutely, because it's not true defensiveness. It's not like, oh, you're trying to attack me.
It's like personally.
Yeah. People don't take it personally when they're in a happy, positive space.
Right. Okay, so how is this connected to sex specifically then?
So there's a number of things like this. I had to poke around a little bit to find the link to sex. It's not part of my everyday discussion.
Poke around a little.
Poke around. This is good. You're clearly in a good place. You're in a good positive place. You can banter.
I can poke at you.
But one of the biggest things that's clear is that by living in a more positive space, by having more happiness in your life, you're less stressed. And we know there's the stress connection to libido is pretty direct.
Literally, the more stressed you are, the more your hormones, your sex hormones are stopped, and the more tired you are, which you tend to be more negative also. So it sounds like kind of a loop that way.
And you get a lot more energy when you're in a positive space. It's just like life is exciting, and you're like ready to move forward, and you've got more energy, more vitality.
Yeah. What about the like skin to skin contact type stuff? And sex.
Oh yeah, I mean any touch that you have, even if it's not sexual, just connecting with people, just a little rub on the shoulders, it releases oxytocin, which is a great connecting hormone, and it allows you to feel more connected. And that, of course, then improves your sex life.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to seek it more. So
definitely.
What about a playful aspect? How's that come into play?
Yeah, I think, again, just like with the banter, if you can be playful, if you're in this comfortable place, then play around and try something new. Have a little adventure.
Right, and that's so true. If you're not taking something personally, if you're not worried about being judged,
Yes.
you're more likely to be creative in
Absolutely.
the bedroom. Okay. What about something, and actually I just read this, I don't know if you've seen this yet, I also read recently they found a link between women that had more positive emotions actually had greater sexual desire. And I'm not sure, it wasn't connected to any other part of their sexual activity, just greater desire, which to me is huge because that's one of the top reasons that women show up to sex therapists is because they feel like they have low desire. So
yeah, I mean, so just being in a comfortable place where you feel like you're happy, then you can be open to exploring other things instead of, again, being all in your head, all in your mind.
And I love it. It all becomes just a feedback loop.
Yeah,
Then
I mean, these are positive spirals. When you get to a certain
Absolutely.
level of positive emotion, it feeds on itself, and now you're seeing what's positive.
Right.
And you're able to keep building that up.
Okay, so to wrap us up, what are some practical tips? What can we put into play here then if we want to start having more positivity in our life?
Great. I mean, a couple of really practical things. Every day, just have a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things that you're grateful for that day. 3 things in your life, things that happened, or just, the people. Another thing, another journaling thing, you can do these in combination. Write about something really positive that happened that day. It's just something good, and just actually dwell in that feeling. Like, see if you recreate it by writing it down.
Right, and savoring it, and
and
recreating it.
And in fact, anytime you have this positive experience, take the time. We're so good in this society, just moving on. Oh yeah, that's great. Now let's move on to the next thing.
Right.
To actually just sit in the space of like, wow, this is really good. And build it up. I mean, it's great when you're in a relationship and you can like say, yeah, and then remember when we did that? And this thing was, it was something similar.
Right.
And you can just build it up. And if you plan that, it just works wonders because you're just getting more credit for that positive event.
That's awesome. You clearly practice what you preach too, because you've got such a great energy and such a positivity. So thank you so much for bringing your joy to the Den for Christmas and for this holiday season. And if you want to learn more about Coach Karpo and the work he does, you can find him online at coachkarpo.com. Hey, sexual fun fact. So we've all heard the story of how Jesus was born in a manger from a virgin mother. Well, my question is it actually possible for a human to experience a truly virginal birth? Yes or no?
Yes. No.
Yes. You know what we got? Yes!
Sure.
You get chocolate body frosting.
Ooh, that sounds more fun.
Enjoy that. Yes, but it is very, 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 very unlikely. And here, in a nutshell, or a manger, haha, is what has to happen biologically for a true virgin birth to occur. So I'm summarizing kind of a pretty complicated process here, according to Melinda Wenner at Slate.com. So first, an egg cell would have to change biochemically in a way that mimics fertilization, and then begin dividing very rapidly. And this, oddly enough, actually already occurs in 1 out of every few thousand women. Second, a couple of additional actions would need to occur at the same time as well to allow the cell to continue the rapid division necessary to make an embryo. And third, the last minor hurdle is for 2 incredibly rare genetic deletions to occur in this fertilized cell simultaneously. So, while it's theoretically possible for a virgin birth to occur in a human, it would clearly be a miracle. And now a brief word from our sponsor. This episode of In the Den with Dr. Jen was sponsored by, actually, my guest today, Coach Karpo. So you can see how positive he got the audience, too. So upcoming in January and February of 2011, Coach Karpo will be hosting a 4-workshop series called Choose Happiness. So if you live in San Diego, you can do these in person, or you can actually attend the workshops online, live, also. In these interactive workshops, he makes the science of positivity accessible to you. They will help you increase the happiness and positivity in your life and relationships with scientifically proven tools. And as part of the 4 workshops, you also receive 2 coaching sessions with Karpo, so he can help customize all of this information and practical tools to your life. I actually got to attend several of his happiness workshops last year, and I loved his combination of research, theory, and practical skill building. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but I literally left feeling lighter and happier after those workshops. So if you want to learn more, go online and check out ChooseHappinessToday.wordpress.com. The Den recommends. So Karpo is back with me here to give me his recommendation of his most powerful book in the positive psychology literature. So what's the book you most recommend to us?
So it's Positivity by Barbara Fredrickson.
Okay, so why?
She is one of the top researchers in the positive psychology field. And she put together a book. She just wrote this, published it last year. So it's got almost all the most updated science. And she makes it accessible, very practical tips and tools on how to bring more positivity into your life. And there's a lot of great stuff in here, and I highly recommend it. She's actually really warm too, so it's not like, it's not this cold scientific approach to it. It's actually very warm and practical.
Yeah.
So I love this book.
And she brings in the science of meditation also, which is awesome. So I agree.
It's hugely powerful to have scientists linking with all that historic meditation and the Eastern philosophy.
Awesome.
It's amazing.
I agree too. 2 thumbs up.
All right.
Thanks. And in conclusion here, I would like to thank you, Coach Karpo, for bringing your positivity and joy to the Den.
Thank you for having me here, Jen. I love it.
And to my live audience, who always loves hearing about sex. Woohoo! And a thank you to Pacific Beach's Underground Furniture for providing the sexy den furniture that you see here. So you can find me online at DrJennsDen.com or on Facebook at DrJennsDen. And from all of us here at Boxline Box Studios and the live audience, we'd all like to wish you a happy holidays. Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho. And as always, be kind to yourself.